This is an 8-minute introduction to the Clinton $21,098 banking fees conundrum. As we closed fiscal year 2018, buried in the details was a year-to-date expenditure for banking fees of $21,098, for which there was no budget indicated. Looking back to the March report, no fees were yet reflected. But by April, there were $10,598 reported for the month of April, which is included in the year-to-date figure of $21,113, even though as of March, no prior fees were reflected. This raised questions. No line item transfer has been approved to cover these unbudgeted banking fees because, according to the erstwhile finance director, quote, they are not appropriated. So these were buried in the reports and never would have otherwise surfaced. Please watch this brief discussion. While we're on this is the general government administrator, which is where the banking fees are. Now, as of March, there were no banking fees in our monthly report.
Correct.
And then April, they showed up suddenly out of no place.
Correct.
They showed 2,000.
Well, not out of no place. That's when we reconcile half a year.
Well, I guess it looks like we didn't have anything budgeted for banking.
We don't budget the banking fees.
Okay.
Is that, so banking fees would be miscellaneous?
No, we kept them separate. They're on that line so that we can see what those fees would be.
But have we done a line item transfer to cover those fees?
They're not an appropriation to cover. No. There's not a budgeted appropriation to
So where's the money come from to pay for?
It's an offset against fund balance when we close out expenditures to revenues.
So it's kind of like off the books.
It's not off the books.
Well, it's off the our budget.
It's not part of the budget. It's not budgeted.
Well, it's an unbudgeted expense. Can you give us some idea? Was it to a bank? Was this?
Yes, it's Bank of America, which holds our general fund money. The banking fees could go from, last year was $12,000. This year was $20,000. Could go from $500, could go even more. It all depends on how much money we keep in the bank. They require us to keep more than $9 million in the bank. If we drop below that threshold, we get hit with fees. If we stay at that threshold or above, we don't get hit with the fees. There's 2 times a year that we could fall below that threshold that we don't have a lot of control over. That's January taxes, when the Januaries come in, and then come back in July. If we don't have the funds in there to keep $9 million or more in that bank, then we start getting hit with fees. That there's times when we don't have those fees that we get hit, or we get hit by a little bit. This year we got hit hard. We reconcile those fees half year and then at the end of the year, part of our reconciliation process. So that's why you didn't see it hit, and then all of a sudden Sue was able to get all of those reconciliations done, and then at the end of the year, she got the rest of it. So there was only 2 entries that were posted, and that's why you saw those jumps in those 2 months.
Like with pensions, we don't have much of a custodian account because it's all pretty much invested, right? I assume there is some custodian account.
There's fees.
We probably, if we have fees that are triggering higher, if we have lack of deposits that's triggering, would it make sense for us to go to our money managers and say, use Bank of America for a custodian account to turn on, make sure we have money in the bank that we don't pay a higher fee? Can we do that? Or the health?
I don't, but the way that your bank account is set up, the way the bank account is set up here, it has to be just the general fund, and it's all inclusive in this one account.
So Bank of America only counts general fund. If you had a pension custodian account, they don't count that?
It only accounts the accounts that are associated with that main account.
I don't know about you, but $9 million seems like an awfully big nut that you have to cover. So, this is a discussion I think with the
Yeah,
trade.
we're gonna have that. Well, and again, I assume I think we put triggers out, like every 5 years we want to review our auditors. I think maybe you should have some triggers on your banks also that automatically triggers that we get some kind of competitive bank.
Yeah, because do all the banks require that, or that's just like Bank of America?
Everybody's there.
All of them require some sort of fee coverage. If they have enough money to invest and make their money to cover the fees that you have, so a lot of them put a ceiling on, and as long as they're making enough money off your money to cover that, they don't charge you. If that falls down, they start charging you. They don't take a loss.
Interest rates are going up,
Interest rates are going up.
and it's time to negotiate.
Yep.
Yeah, I think you
And
get,
I think you've been with Bank of America forever.
I think you get a better,
So it could be
Better
a
cost
very old agreement, very old agreement that isn't feasible
like,
anymore.
at $9 million, it could have been $9 million back when, has it gone up every year or something, they adjusted?
That I don't know.
I mean, that just seems like historically a big number. And
Yeah.
currently it's a big number, but historically,
Yeah.
9 million would have been a very big number. It'd be kind of interesting to see, since we don't budget for it, I mean, that's the other part, is we're paying money out that we don't even budget for. And it seems to me we ought to at least have a line item for banking fees.
You didn't even have a line item for banking fees. We broke it out and started showing that banking fees.
So where was it going before?
We put the money in the bank, and they're taking money out, they were
They
taking it out of
were
their
just
tax
taking the fees,
receipts.
yeah, they were just taking the fees out of it.
They were cutting the pot before we got there.
That doesn't sound right. So,
Well, he's out, you got us up anyway. But the thing is the money,
The whole
we take the
banking
deposits,
situation
we take the
doesn't
deposits,
make
put it in
sense.
the Bank of America, and what happens is they take their fees out of that before we do anything budgetarily, right? Is that how it works?
I believe that there's been that case in the past.
Okay, so it was raised, what we decided to do is, we have a new financial director come in, we're gonna talk about the process, the fees, and what we do and everything else, right? We're gonna do that.
Definitely a very good area to look at to our.
It put a trigger in here for future boards and, to turn around. I think you should have triggers that make you review, whether it be legal, auditing, banking, whatever it might be, 5 years is, same thing with our pension investors, all that stuff.
but it needs to be, I think this was.
We have to do
This has obviously been happening, and I don't know if people raised the issue in the past, but clearly it wasn't going to be raised. And it seems to me like it's a big number.
Some of it might be the auditors probably have triggered some of the things we're saying about, you gotta report this, you gotta do this, and then of course, Norton coming in and, processes that's, whatever, you can always, look, everybody can always improve how you do things.
That's right. So there's nothing, it's not like you need to go defensive because it.
No, I think you can always improve, right? You don't have to pick on anybody, you just say you're evolving and finding.
Right.
Right. Okay, we're gonna.